The destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, got a little Jeopardy music going on. What is up, AfterBuzzers? We can always group to everything, especially with my lovely co-host lady, Steph Sabraw. How are ya?
What's up, everyone? I'm so excited to talk about the Walk of Shame.
Lanisha Fisher, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I like that Jeopardy going on.
Carolina Bonetti, what's going on today?
I'm so excited to talk about Regina and Lucy.
Yeah. And guys, it's Ally Nasta here, and we cannot wait to discuss all of the fine details of this episode because it was pretty juicy, and there was a lot of things that happened, and I think right now I gotta know, what were your overall thoughts of this episode?
There were questions that I had, like doubts, that were actually answered in this episode.
Right.
So I'm actually happy about this one.
Okay.
I agree. There was questions that were answered. There's still many questions to be answered.
That's true.
And out of the 3 episodes of the second half of the season, I think it was the weakest for me. But it's still, I'm glad we got some answers and momentum started.
Right.
See, I felt like this one was one of the strongest episodes coming back because it gave us answers. Whereas last week's episode made me feel frustrated.
Yeah.
We were all confused. Yeah.
I know. I think it was a very, last week's episode was all over the place. They give us too many separated details. But now that we are kind of coming back together, we are finding the nitty gritty. But at the same time, I feel like they did open up some more storylines where I was kind of confused.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of confusion, I say we just jump right into the Rogers and Alice storyline. I feel like, I want to know what you guys thought about this because I don't think it really answered too much for me. There's still a looming question of why Rogers was given this heart issue where he can't be with his daughter, and like, why does Mother Gothel hate them so much? She already locked up his daughter in a tower. Like, why does he need to separate? Well,
technically,
their daughter.
She don't
She
care.
already locked them up. Like, why does she need to keep him like away from her? What is it that Mother Gothel has?
I mean,
She's
listen.
the devil, but
Something tells me that she's going to be trapped back in.
No, I was just going to say, listen, it's really hard to get worst mom of the year when you're competing against Cora in a neighboring kingdom. So she really had to step up her game.
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
I mean,
I thought that I agree with you. There's a lot of unanswered questions about this storyline, but the part that I was kind of bugged is that this Roger storyline is the exact same storyline we always see with Hook and Roger. You know, like they make a mistake, they come back from the mistake, it's too late, so they have to fix the mistake.
Right.
So I was hoping it would be something a little bit different, and I have a ton of questions about Alice. Like, are
I
we
did
talking...
say the same thing about Alice, is that
Yeah.
he has no forward momentum in Hyperion Heights with Alice
Right.
at all. And I felt really frustrated because a part of me when I was watching it is like, he's so dumb and he has zero connection that this is his daughter, and it's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
And so one thing that I started to ask myself is he going to actually lose his daughter because of this curse?
Right.
Permanently. Because he can't see what's right in front of
But
him.
what is going on with Alice? Like, we have to address this. Like, at first it was kind of cool. Like, oh, she's a little bit weird. She's a little bit mad. Like Alice in, you know, we know, with the Alice we know. But then it's gotten, like, progressively, like, weird, and I don't know if she actually has like a mental issue, like literally,
Right.
But I also don't know if that's part of the curse. Like, I'm just kind of confused now.
I feel like it's part of the curse has like wrangled her memories, and I feel like she's caught in an in-between. It almost feels like Alice is stuck in like a half curse where she kind of remembers but she kind of doesn't, and she knows that something's wrong, but she
has
can't,
I think that's a power she has.
That's what I was gonna say. I think she's like
that's her power,
a savior.
for sure.
I think it's all gonna, because remember how we jump all the way back to the beginning. We were all looking for a savior, and some people were predicting Alice. I think that's literally like what you said, a power that she has, because it's a hidden.
But I also feel like there is a mix in there where she has memories of her time in the Enchanted Forest, but she also has these memories that are conflicting of Hyperion Heights, and that's why she seems so zany, is because she's like, I don't, what is real? Imagine if you had two
and
sets
is she
of
off
memories.
the pills now?
I think so.
Because that's what made her go back to being like that, right?
Well, I'm really glad that you brought that up because I really wanted to break down Alice's character, Alice's character, because we saw a pretty much progression. This is the first time we've seen her really as a child, and one thing that was interesting is what jogged my memory is when Mother Gothel was in the same room with her. I'm thinking. Duh, she's got some sort of magical powers. She's not just Alice in Wonderland, in this world of Once Upon a Time. She has some sort of powers as if Mother Gothel does.
Yes.
She's probably a witch.
She
Exactly. Okay.
And she has some sort of
close the circle.
Yeah. And so she also has I think she has visions too, which is obviously what we saw with the dream.
Right.
But also the weird thing that they threw in there was that she draws, which I don't really know the connection there. Because that didn't really add anything to the story. I don't really think, unless it's a hidden innuendo as to who she's really going to be as this witch or power of some sort. What do you guys think?
I like that because that's how they were able to find some of the clues, was that she could draw, and it comes from her character when she was stuck in the tower. What else are you gonna do?
Right.
I also thought it was nice bonding for her and her dad.
Yeah.
Right. It was also weird, though, because this was just, a nitty-gritty thing, which I shouldn't be annoyed with. But I was just confused, too, because also Alice's character in the real world, her accent is so harsh compared to where she was as a child. And I don't know why. I was I think I was, having conflicting views as to if this is the same girl.
No, I honestly found her, I feel so bad making fun of a child, but I found her so annoying. I really, I don't know if it's not her, it wasn't her. I love, the girl's adorable and stuff. I felt like I think I was more annoyed with the storyline, not getting answers from her, being confused on whether she is the right Alice or whatever. But I think that I left the scene thinking either Alice is a witch and she's might be the guardian closing the circle, or she's the witch killer. And I think that I stopped. At first, I think they want you to think that she's the witch killer. I don't think.
You don't think
the
she's
more
gonna be.
We're talking about, I don't think she is. But I was I just felt annoyed with the storyline of her as a child. It just didn't seem like it fit right.
I think that's a great point you bring up, because the way that they fit it in is because we have this Alice present day who is clearly something's wrong. She's off of her meds, which makes me think maybe Lady Tremaine wasn't too far off. Maybe she was trying to help her, because maybe something in this curse is making her a completely different human. Maybe her powers, she doesn't know how to control them, and this is why she's going crazy. Because she has some
don't
sort of
think
powers.
Lady Tremaine was trying to help her.
You don't think so?
No, she was trying to help herself. She didn't care about anyone but her daughter.
But that's what's confusing, is what do these pills do to her?
That's true.
What? Because
they make her forget. We know that. That's for sure. They make her forget things. Because that's why she was so stressed out about taking them the last time, is because she kept saying, they make me forget.
But that's what's weird, is we saw her forget, and now we see her in this scene where she knows Mother Gothel is crazy, and
I think it's also part because the curse is starting to break apart, because more and more people are waking up, and I think it's waking her power up.
A lot of people are waking up in this, but
except for Roger.
I think she just stopped
he's
taking
still
Rogers
oblivious to all of this.
Him and Henry.
Yeah, they are the
guys
most.
are
Henry's
slacking.
slowly, he's slowly getting. He was asking questions I want to believe.
Yeah. Well, let's really dive into Alice. Let's close out the kind of character. Let's close out the little character development we saw with her. So obviously we see her try to tell or warn Rogers and Rumple, listen, that lady is lying to you. She's crazy. She's leading you astray. All of this can't end up well. And then we see her in the hospital bedroom with the, what was it? The
knife, little blade.
Yeah.
Scalpel.
Do we think
Scalpel. There
so?
we go.
That was the word I was looking for. So do we think that she killed?
No. No, Mother Gothel totally killed the witch from Hansel and Gretel.
But how did she get in there?
I don't
She's
think it
in
was
jail.
Mother Gothel. I do think it was someone Mother Gothel had hired. I think she has a little helper. And who knows? Don't forget about the other daughter.
Where did she do it?
You never know how much time she spent with her.
Mop? No.
She could have trained her and been like, this is bad. And remember that control that she had? You will forget all of this. And she was all under her spell and all under her control.
Right.
So you think that she did it with some kind of voodoo, mind magic meld?
Anything could happen in Once Upon a Time. Look at all these storylines happening. I didn't think that would happen.
But also, I'm just so confused. Why was Tilly there? Maybe she was stopping it. Maybe Tilly was in the hospital bedroom because she's stopping it from happening because she's saying, oh my gosh, putting pieces together. Yeah. She's psychic. She can see things happening. So I think she went to go stop this from happening and then obviously was caught with the murder weapon.
Right, because she was warning them all.
But why she touched the murder weapon?
Yeah, everybody knows you don't touch a murder weapon in any type of story like this.
But she was going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, so she didn't, she was just like, like she was freaking out. So I don't think she really was thinking logically.
What she was actually stopping was Rogers getting killed because if he had walked in and she hadn't been there, the killer would have taken him out as well. That's what I thought of the scene.
Really?
And that's why she was like, bad things are already happening because you didn't believe me. And she left and she was so angry. But I actually think she's not crazy. She stayed because she was preventing something else from happening.
Yeah, I don't think she's crazy. I think everything she's saying is right. It's the way she goes about it. I'm like, whoa.
Well, I mean, how would you guys react, though, if you guys kept having visions of people dying?
Oh, I'd be
worse. That would make me go insane. I would be talking, I don't know. I probably would end up in a psych ward.
Another thing that we need to not forget, I'm realizing now that we're trying to figure out what Tilly's character actually is, let's not forget that she's with Robin. Like, Robin, the young Robin.
The baby Robin.
Yeah, the baby Robin.
Robin 2.0.
Robin 2.0. Like, they're together, too. So that's another storyline that we got a taste of, but we don't really know what's going on with them, if they're ever going to end up together. Now, you know what I mean?
To come into the show. I keep, like, waiting for her to pop into an episode.
Right.
Yeah, was Robin in the real world?
They had the exit.
Yeah, Robin in the
by the tree.
She's on vacation.
Oh,
yeah, they said bye to... They didn't know when they would see each other next. They knew that they had to leave. They knew the curse was coming, remember? So they got separated.
So that just leaves... I just am wondering if that storyline would ever be open again. Or
it better be.
That really should.
That wrap up.
Man. Yeah. Sorry. Well, that's so much going on, and we're not even, like... That's obviously Alice's character and a lot going on there. But what's really interesting, too, is, you know, when we're seeing Alice as a child and we're seeing Rogers really step up as a father and be there, he also has a lack of...
his pride.
Yeah, he has a lack of his pride and doesn't know what to do. And so then he almost chooses his pride over his daughter, which is how Mother Gothel kind of gets him and tricks him. Yeah. And it was aggravating, like you were saying.
I thought it was really harsh. Like, he still did what he needed to do.
Can we talk about the Maui weapon? Because
they had to fit Moana in there somehow.
I know,
I don't know how.
It wasn't even... No, I appreciate the reference. I just feel like it wasn't even used in the same storyline as the Moana.
Well, gotcha.
What I was thinking... The only thing that when I saw the Moana, Maui's hook, I was realizing that his heart looked like it was green, but I don't know if I was just seeing that.
Oh.
So something happened, because you know the heart of Te Fiti? Like, it's his heart that's hurt. So
no, but Gothel said that she got him the poison with the bullet when he was great.
I know, but I
feel after he had it.
But was when they like got pushed away from each other when Tilly.
Oh, so you're saying that it's gonna be cured like in Moana?
Kind of. That's what I was thinking because when they were forcefully pushed away from each other, when he goes back to
that is a very
Alice,
plausible.
Yeah, it's something with his heart because when he got shoved and he was holding it, it looked green.
Okay, Ally.
So, I don't know.
Look at Ally solving things.
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in the chat. Please. I would love to know if maybe I'm just crazy and that's the only thing I saw.
No, I'm going to rewind now and look at that
see if
part
it's green.
See if it's green, yeah.
Because she pulled out the hook as soon as he got pushed back. And then when they opened up in the grass area, she still had, Mother Gothel still had the hook in her hand. So that obviously, I don't think that's going to still play into the storyline.
Yeah, but I mean, that would be so weird if they didn't put that back.
Right, it would be just
then
really
it would just
random.
be like it's a hook.
But then again, it could have been just like one of those nuggets that they give you, you know, when you see a Disney movie and they secretly put another Disney movies in it.
Except that they were so obvious about it. I feel like
that's true.
It has to have some kind of device to it now. But what you're saying makes a lot of sense because the whole time, the villain that they were fighting was the mother they were trying to get back to.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
That makes sense.
The creator, and she did it by giving her heart back.
It was green, but so was her spell. But that's the thing. It was green. So, someone's telling me it didn't turn green. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Maybe I need to get my eyes checked.
It still could happen.
I think it still could happen.
I just think that connection was the only thing that made sense as to why she would bring out the Maui hook.
Involved?
Yeah. But
and why did she stop him from having it?
Right.
I think there's a connection.
I think there has to be, because there's no way that they would really focus this storyline on Roger's backstory with Alice if it had no context. Obviously, we figured out
the cure.
Yeah,
like how he got poisoned.
Exactly. So that's kind of, I think that kind of sums up a bit what he kind of went through over there. But then we have real world Rogers. That's a tongue twister. Real world Rogers. Say that 6 times fast. But so that was a little frustrating because we're seeing him and Rumple. And Rumple, I just feel like he's not adding anything.
He's not helping him uncover anything about himself. And I feel like
he's not helping Alice.
But quick
why are you
point,
making her
he's
think?
just perpetuating this curse, and I'm like, Rumple, don't you want to get out of it to get back to Belle? Like, I don't understand what you're doing in this world.
Exactly.
Rumple, though, in the old scene, I forgot how dope of an actor he is. Like, he's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to talk about that later.
Okay, good. Okay, so yeah, I agree. Rumple's not doing anything. I'm wondering, he has an angle, though. Rumple's never doing, everything is, like, thought out. And the fact that he even let Rogers talk to her, because remember, Alice came in again, and he was like, well, he's going to give her the painting. Like, he didn't really fight it, so it makes me think there's something cooking up on his side.
That's true. And something...
He could want her to wake him up.
Yeah, I thought Mother Gothel was gonna wake Rogers up actually at that scene.
I thought that too.
As soon as he saw the painting.
Actually, I thought she was gonna curse him and suck him into the painting.
Oh gosh, that would be awful.
I didn't think about the sucking into.
She was freaking out.
Yeah.
Have you seen Narnia? I've seen Narnia.
Listen,
they dragged Moby Dick into this. Why not the kids from Narnia? I was like, don't touch that painting.
Well, yeah. Well, Mother Gothel was that. I feel like she's obviously cooking up something. We saw I think the reason we saw Rumple in the Wish realm as well as this realm is because we're seeing that they've clearly needed to work together, and for each way they needed each other in a small sense. Obviously, Rogers didn't really take his help, but it's a way that we're seeing this connection. It's going to have to happen. So I think that they're obviously going to stick together in figuring out this cult that's going on, and they'll continue to figure out if it's Tilly or not Tilly. And they're going to know, obviously, Rumple's going to open up the door and say, listen, I know Tilly. I've been there for her. She's not this girl. Something weird is happening. It's the cult.
You're totally right.
I'm wondering where Rumple had the time to come up with this whole storyline for the cult. Like, he came up with every solution for the cult for the witches. I'm wondering where where he had the time to come up with the story for them.
Rumple's got nothing but time. He's immortal.
But Ally, you're right. It's definitely a parallel of the exact same thing happening. I always forget that when things are happening back in the Enchanted Forest, things are happening there in the same parallel.
Right.
Yeah. So Rumple stepping back and letting, and Weaver, whatever, letting him have that and giving him the painting makes sense now because he kind of let him do that in the past.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think this whole Mother Gothel thing and Rumple and Rogers, we're definitely going to see play out more. I do want to get into the other dramatic side, which is a little less magical in really weird ways. Let's get into Drizilla's character.
And how she tried to go for Henry.
She was all over the place this episode. And let's just say, for those of us who've been watching and said that Drizella was going to go after Henry, I think I might have predicted that. It happened.
Yep.
I said it too.
I think we all said that when she was giving him that look and everything and flirting. But I didn't think she would kiss him.
Well, no. The thing that I don't know. Well, the thing about Drizella is what's weird is now that she's kind of trying to find herself and figure out where she kind of blends into this whole world of wherever she is. She doesn't really know. She was going to kill everybody, and now she's not, and now she doesn't have a plan. She lost her mom. All this she's going through in her head. Yeah. What's confusing is at the end of the day, she knows Henry isn't her true love, so, like, why would she even go after it?
Well, I think it's like in any normal sad female, I just need somebody. I'm done with that.
She's thirsty. But I loved how Henry was like, "You're grieving. This isn't gonna happen."
I was gonna say, not just thirsty, like she is grieving, and I feel like Henry is the only person in Hyperion Heights that's always consistently been nice to her. You know, and she has a lot of history with other people. She can't just go to Regina and cry on her shoulder after she backstabbed her as an apprentice. she
poison
feels like
her son.
Yeah, she can't really do. She can't
There's no
turn
going
to
back.
anybody except Henry. You know, so when he kind of pushed her to go talk to Jacinda and Lucy, that was a turning point for her.
Yeah.
But I think that she was like, screw it. I'm just going to like move forward with the one person that likes me
That's
because
actually there for
things
me.
aren't working out with him and Jacinda. And she was just ready to live in the status quo of Hyperion Heights after everything that's happened. But then because he pushed her and she realized, holy cow, like my sister doesn't even know who we are. And that's when she walked away and said, I'm going to finish what my mother started, meaning she's going to break this curse.
Let's go back a second because I feel like we just jumped from Henry and Drizella to Drizella and Jacinda. So yeah, Drizella and Henry, I really did appreciate that he actually noted the fact that she's grieving, she's been through a lot, and it's she's gonna be okay, but this is not what she needs right now. I thought it was really strong of Drizella to go to Jacinda, and it was strong of Jacinda to give her a hug and basically be saying it's okay, I'm here for you, and that hug was like. It was good. It was good.
Just, I feel like the writing for Jacinda stepped up because she was like finally the sassy Jacinda and cool that we see back in the Enchanted Forest in the beginning. Because for so long she was so like her lines were boring. Like she didn't do anything. But yeah, this scene.
She was living in a lot of self-pity.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It was more
even
pitiful.
What Ivy said to her. She's like, "Oh, that's the thing that annoys me the most about you is like all your self-victimization." So yeah, it was nice to see her kind of like be like, everybody has problems.
But back to what you were saying, I still don't trust Ivy. Like I want to think that this is it. Like this is her. This is it. Okay, I hope. But I still don't know, and I do have sad news. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but she's only going to be here until episode 15. So her storyline, that's what was announced. I hope it's not true, but that's what a few sources I read said. So her story has to wrap up quick, so I'm really like, what's going to happen?
I think Mother Gothel is going to kill her because she's going to turn good.
Or
predicted from the beginning.
I do believe she's gonna turn good, but I think she's gonna do what her mother did, but instead of waking up Anastasia, she's gonna try to wake up her mother and take her place and die.
Her mother's dead.
Is she
Tell us what you guys think
because
is gonna
wasn't
happen.
like Lucy like asleep
She could
and wasn't
wake up
other
Henry and die in his place. That could also take place.
that would be sad.
I think what would happen is she's going to sacrifice herself because she's going to realize, whoa, everything I've ever did in my life so far has been out of like greed, and she's wanted vengeance, and she's wanted all these things on all these characters, and I think she's realizing almost that Regina's done a couple times. She's sacrificing herself in order to let everybody else be happy because she's realizing her happiness. She doesn't know where it lies. So I could feel like if her character is supposed to go somewhere, I think she would do it in a very heroic way. Because I don't think she's definitely not going to go back to Mother Gothel for help. And if anything, it'll be only to figure out a way to
get her sister back.
Yeah. And to kind of manipulate Mother Gothel in a way to say, screw you. You know, you mess with my family. And she's taken her mom, she's taken her sister. Now Jacinda has Drusilla has nothing. So I think that'll be, I mean, it'll be fun to see her be a hero because I feel as if we've been rooting for her this whole time. Every time we've seen Ivy go through a challenge, we always want to see her go in the positive direction, but she always chooses the negative direction. I think it's been really hard to see, and maybe that's the reward that they'll give us with this character. So I think that would be really exciting.
I feel like everybody's sacrificing themselves.
They are, man.
Sad.
But someone that's not sacrificing themselves and is stepping up to the plate is Regina and Lucy.
Queen.
Regina has finally admitted to Lucy, this is real. The Storybrooke is real. What you are reading is real.
And I love that she said, so you read the storybook, and she goes, I've lived it.
Oh my God.
Yes! Such a rewarding moment.
Yes,
she's like, please don't call me grandma.
She's like, you're a Mills. I think Lucy was going to be like, I'm a princess. And she's like, you're a Mills.
Yeah.
You're a peasant
so
still.
depressing.
I think it was...
Well, no, I mean...
Until we get out of this place.
Yeah. Well, I think this was a really rewarding scene for all of us because like Steph was saying earlier, it was kind of, we didn't get any closed loops. We didn't get any progression.
Well, last week, that was my biggest bone to pick. I'm like, your grandmother and your great aunt are literally two of the most powerful women in storybooks.
I was literally thinking that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this scene was really like
that
finally.
was the opener. Yeah.
This was a waiting moment. I think
the word I'm looking for, like really satisfying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like they're finally gonna come up with a plan. And everyone's partnering up and coming up with a plan because everyone was doing like their individual thing. I was like, why?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think it was just very rewarding because we haven't really gotten any progression forward to any solving of this. Every time we think we're getting one step further, I feel as if we've gone 5 steps back because we get introduced to a bunch of different storylines.
That's true.
As we discussed in the last recap that we did, it is kind of hard because we know it's ending. So I think that's why we're biting off more than we can chew because we just want to see it end, but we don't want to see it in the same time. So I think
also like that they brought it back with the walkie-talkies.
Yes.
I love that they're gonna
bringing it back. OG
Operation Cobra, Operation Hyacinth, the walkie-talkies. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what they're gonna do.
Definitely.
And I'm excited to see Lucy finally have someone where she doesn't feel like she's crazy.
Yeah.
2 people.
Poor thing.
Because now she's gonna be able to talk to her aunt.
Oh,
as
that's
well.
true. That's true.
So that'll be really nice. And Ivy, if Ivy ever gets around to talking to her, because she is very much awake.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of people awake. Some people taking longer than others. Rogers, but he'll get there. Hopefully, I think it maybe could be his stubbornness too, because I'm jumping ship, but I'm just,
literally.
No pun intended. But Rogers is just stubborn in everything, and we saw that a lot with this episode. But I think that kind of wraps up really kind of what went on this episode. If you guys have any last thoughts before we get into our dynamic duo of the episode. Guys, we're getting to a dynamic duo. All right, let's do it. So, dynamic duo of the day, drum roll, is Regina and Lucy.
Yes!
This is going to be so fun to see just because, as we were just speaking about, it was so great to see, that's how we saw Regina come to her actual hero self.
Yes.
Is starting with these operations. What are you guys most excited to see with her and Lucy in this whole Operation Hyacinth?
The bonding and also for them to unearth things, because Lucy's a really smart kid and she's figured a lot of things out with no support. So imagine what she could come to fruition if she just has some support.
I was thinking the most interesting thing I would like to see is it took Henry longer to figure out what his actual place is because they're children, at the time that they're solving this. And so he ended up having the role of the author, and it was like a full circle of you're really important. She's done so much already, and she's so smart, like you said, but I really want to know what her role will be. What can Regina really ask of a child, and what is she Kate, is she the guardian? What's the power gonna be? She's gonna have something else.
That is 100% true, and these are fantastic points because we've been wondering this whole time what Lucy's power is. She clearly has something because
I still think she's
so
the
pissed
guardian.
if that was my power.
You're like, I want to fly. I want to be invisible. What is this?
You're just the best believer ever, Steph.
That's
Congratulations.
like being on JV for the rest of your life. You're playing the sport, but not really.
True.
Well, I don't think that they would make her the believer because that was Henry's thing.
Yeah,
she's got something.
Part of the truest believer.
She's
the author, though.
But that came later. At first, he was the believer.
The
truest
believer.
Whatever.
Well, this will be a really, really fun dynamic to see finally get together because they haven't really had that much time on screen together. So
Also, for me, Lana Parrilla is such a great actress, and in my humble opinion, she hasn't had enough screen time this season.
I love her.
So I'm excited. Her and Robert Carlyle, who plays Rumpelstiltskin, both of them haven't really gotten to really play this season. And so I'm hoping that wrapping the season up, we'll get to see them come out and kind of let their characters loose more. I want to see more of it before it wraps up.
I agree.
Yeah, because that's who we fell in love with the show, and they're the main cast that stayed. So just let them do it.
Yeah. Give them more time.
Yeah.
Guys, well, I'm excited. This will be great. Finally, we've got an operation going.
Oh, quick thing. So, exciting news that this is the cast that's been has already said that they're going to come back. We have Granny, Grumpy, Geppetto, Ariel, Peter Pan, Robin Hood, Cruella, Blue Fairy. So I'm really
we get
also Prince Charming.
Yes,
Prince Charming
was announced.
Is also announced.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that.
And Robin,
Yeah, Robin and Prince Charming.
So I'm really excited to see how they tie in. Tell us what you guys think how they'll tie into the storyline. Because
we all know Snow White has to come. She has to.
Yeah, that's going to
Ginnifer
be...
Goodwin has to come back for the last
so
episode.
true.
Especially because, I don't know if you guys saw this on Twitter. Sorry to jump on your news.
No.
But one of the creators, I believe it was Adam Horowitz, tweeted out the final title for the very last episode is Leaving Storybrooke. So I'm like, that's it. They're all coming back.
All coming back.
They have to. I think they're finally going to go back to the Enchanted Forest, and this is what I've wanted from season 1. I wanted them to break the curse, and I wanted them to go be proper fairy tale characters.
Okay.
I got goosebumps, guys.
I need to breathe for a second because I would really love that.
That would be amazing.
If they actually got to go back to a land with magic and live their lives as princes and princesses and
be
have
done with
sword
these
fights
curses.
and do everything. I'm like, this is what I need.
Yes.
Let Maleficent be a dragon. Let it happen.
Guys, if you're listening and you're not watching right now, like I'm getting goosebumps and I'm kind of getting teary-eyed a little bit because I'm getting so this. I just remember, guys. No, I remember watching the show and just it was kind of a best friend. You know, you watch it. I'm just sappy. I'll stop. But
no, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
That opening scene, it still gives me chills when I think about it. Of the prince riding the horse across that long stretch of land, and the first time you saw Snow White in the coffin, I was like, this is gonna be so good.
It's crazy.
Oh my God, when I first saw Regina, and that's the Evil Queen, that's where I got this is gonna be good.
Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, ladies, let's get into our character corner.
It's character corner.
Oh!
Who was that smooth voice there?
I've got to give a shout out to our engineer Jeff. He does amazing sound bites for us and makes this just even 20 times better. But Carolina, take it away.
Okay, so this week we are going to talk about Rumpelstiltskin. Not Harry Potter. Definitely not Harry Potter. Rumpelstiltskin. And I don't know what's happening with Harry. I love Harry Potter.
Me too.
Ravenclaw all the way.
Right.
But yeah, we talked. So this week, Rumpelstiltskin. So the origins are actually from Germany, and it was first published by the Brothers Grimm in 1812. Later, an Australian author of English tales would go on to publish another incarnation of Rumpelstiltskin, and this would be in 1890 and again in 1893. So Rumple is actually a goblin, and the type of goblin that he is actually in his name. So
this is why we have Harry Potter.
I like it. This is fun.
This is why the goblins in Harry Potter. It all makes sense.
So,
It does.
Yeah. So Rumple is actually a type of goblin. And when you break down the German, phonetic way of saying Rumpelstiltskin, it specifies the type of goblin that he is. And for our incarnation of Rumpelstiltskin with Robert Carlyle, in this current incarnation that we love very much, he actually used his son, who was a toddler at the time, to come up with his characterization of Rumple. So when you see him going like this with his hands and being like, well, he would watch his son walk around, and his son would have silent conversations with nobody and be like, and he took that and he's like, my son is insane. And then he got this pilot around the same time he was just thinking his son was a nutcase, and he was like, I'm gonna use this for Rumpelstiltskin. So thank you to Robert Carlyle's son.
Wow.
Thank you, Carolina. That was great.
Such a good character corner.
Yeah, this is my favorite by far. I know we're only 2 in, but this is my favorite.
This is my favorite one.
I know. I had some photos for you guys. I don't know if you got to see them or if you just got Harry Potter for that whole rendition, but either way.
Well, Robert Carlyle is amazing. It's crazy to take a character from off the
There he
page.
is. Yeah, Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh, crazy.
Because in the original fairy tale, he had her spin gold so that she could get out of there with her son. And she finally does get a son, but then he takes the son away unless she can find out his name, and she does.
This brings me back to
you have to break, and you had to break it so that she could keep her son, because the legend of Rumpelstiltskin is that he would take away babies.
Yeah.
Again and again from women who needed them. He would grant them fertility, but he would take the first baby.
All of these these tales from last week to this week.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Not the
so the
fertility
actual
part.
So if you read the Brothers Grimm,
Of course, a man can give it and take it away.
what happens is that he was a magical goblin, and he would give women like the ability to have babies, but as a return, on the first birthday of the firstborn, they would have to surrender him.
Yeah.
I do remember. Or her.
I remember surrendering the baby,
because
but not...
they would never be able to guess his name, except this one queen did. And that's what broke the curse.
Love.
Oh, wow.
But hate.
These,
love.
yeah,
but hate.
these tales though, man, they're creepy.
Okay.
They're very creepy.
You guys can look them up. Brothers Grimm, 1812.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Carolina, for that lovely character corner. These are so fun every week. We learn something new, and it's so much fun. But let's get into our predictions of what we think is going to happen next episode.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Oh, this one's different.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
Okay.
Steph, what are you thinking?
I think that we're definitely going to see the Regina and Lucy timeline progress, and they're going to start figuring things out. I think someone's going to die next episode. I just really haven't figured out who, or like I don't know if it'll be like Drizella soon, or something's going to I feel like something's leading up to a death. I don't know if it's next episode or not, but that I really don't know, because I feel like I don't know this timeline. I don't know where we're switching, and I think we're trying to wrap things up. So I just think that I'm focused on the Regina Lucy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with that with Drizella. I think she's going to sacrifice herself for everybody. And I think that possibly Anastasia could be under the witch's spell, and she could be, even as dark as it sounds, she could possibly be the killer of the witches.
Oh, and I do think that we're going to see Dr. Facilier.
Oh, yeah.
Because, we're going to find out his motives, I think, next episode. Hopefully.
I'm glad you bring that up, because then I whenever we get an episode like this where there's so many different points, you almost forget.
That's why I was like, what was my prediction? Because I left having one, and then that's it.
Okay, cool. Carolina, what's going on?
I think that reflecting Emma's relationship with Henry, we're going to see Regina and Lucy get into some hot water, for sure, before things get better. And I think that that's going to lead to more people waking up. I also think that Ivy is a good guy. She's one of the good guys, and we're going to see her do something incredibly heroic. And then everybody who hated her is just going to feel bad about themselves. You're welcome.
We'll see.
I still don't think Rogers is going to be awake. I feel like he's going to be one of the last people to wake up, because look at that tragic mess that he's already gotten into.
I just want him to wake up. It's
Me too.
frustrating. Your daughter is right there, and you're not getting blown away from each other.
This is what gives me stress, is I feel like he's going to lose her at the end of this curse. Is he is actually going to lose her when it's the one thing he's wanted most, because he had all these chances this episode to be with his daughter, and he kept choosing Eloise, and I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
Being a jerk. He was being
just being such a jerk to her, too.
Yeah, he was. He wasn't giving her the time of day, which was really frustrating and agonizing to watch. I'm thinking for my predictions, I'm definitely thinking Drizella is going to become the hero in the end and take one for the team. As sad as that will be, but I think it'll be maybe a come-to moment for Anastasia. It'll be like a solvable moment for Anastasia, Drizella, and Jacinda. They're all three going to finally be the sisters they never got to be for the last 5 seconds, which sounds terrible, but I feel like that's a lot of what happens. You know, obviously, Lady Tremaine and Drizella hated each other until the last 5 seconds, so I think it's going to be kind of a moment like that again.
I forgot Ivy did say that she's going to finish Lady
What her mother
started, So I think you're right.
And I think that'll be very interesting, too, because we do know...
That might wake Rogers up for you. If she's finishing what her mother started.
That's true. Man, there's so many thoughts and stuff as well, because now that you bring that point out, my prediction would be that she actually, Lady Tremaine, was actually doing this for the better good of everybody. I don't know. Maybe she's not as terrible as we think, because if you think about it, she did sacrifice herself for her family to have the best life to live. So she's not a terrible person. She just has bad intentions sometimes and doesn't. But then again, she's done so many bad things. I don't know. But yeah, main thing is
conflicted.
Yeah, and I think maybe Alice and Rumple are gonna have some sort of talk next week, and then he's gonna help her come to whatever situation they're going through.
Her. She needs help.
She does need help. But I think that wraps up our predictions. And before we close out this recap today, we would love to give a shout out, a fan shout out.
Hey.
Alrighty. Our fan of the week is Becky Eldridge. At Baxter235. I just wanted to say,
Becky.
she tweeted us and then she said that she hopes there is a mega reunion in Storybrooke. Also, love the Oncers on Fridays. You guys keep me straight. So I just wanted to give you a shout out, Becky. We love you. We thank you so much for watching, and thanks for tweeting at us. Again, every week we'll be doing a fan shout out, so please be sure to tweet us, comment below, or just anything. Send us fun gifs, memes about Once Upon a Time, because we love it all. Maybe even shout out to Carolina, a character that you would love to be in Character Corner next week.
Yeah.
We love hearing your thoughts. But here we go again, guys. Next week, so many things to come down. Before we go, Steph, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me at Steph Sabraw on Instagram and Twitter.
Lanisha.
What's up, you guys? I'm Lanisha. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lanisha, spelled Lanisha 914.
Carolina.
Hey guys, I'm Carolina Bonetti, and you can find me on Instagram at LenaBean113 and Twitter at Carolina Bonetti.
And hey guys, Ally Nasta here. Find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at Ally Girl. And of course, follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. So see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.